Hello and welcome back to the channel, everyone. Let's speculate. I just wanted to share a few of my thoughts and ideas because there's a lot of things going on in Star Wars: The Old Republic right now. A lot of the changes and stuff actually have me thinking about how it kind of leaves the door open for some cool things. I want to be clear, I'm going off pure speculation. I have no insiders, I have no one that's telling me anything, just going off thoughts in my brains. And by thoughts in my brains, I mean shower thoughts. These are just things I've absorbed and picking up on from what's going on with everything involving Legacy of the Sith and things going forward. And it is my conclusion that something originally thought impossible is going to be happening in the game. So please, stick with me to the end, and it'll all be clear. Then you can judge whether or not I'm a crazy person or not. But while you're here, while I've got your attention, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Subscribe to the channel for more SWTOR and gaming news and other things. All right, who's ready for some Pepe Sylvia level speculation? All through last year, I railed on BioWare over the design of the class stories. I said the stories were badly designed from the beginning. Story has been forcibly bolted onto the gameplay from the get-go. Far more than any other MMO ever has before it. Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy, Elder Scrolls Online. These are very, very story-focused MMOs, but they have their gameplay and story on a completely separate island. But SWTOR is different. From the very beginning, you choose how you experience the game gameplay-wise, but that funnels you directly into how you experience the game story aspect. Now, this isn't particularly a bad thing. In fact, I think at a certain point it was one of SWTOR's strengths because a lot of people have a hard time melding the gameplay and the story aspect together, and it wasn't a problem until the game began to stagnate. No matter how much you love SWTOR, you can admit that the game has not changed in the slightest when it comes to how you experience the gameplay. After all, once you go tab targeting, you're pretty much locked in. But Guild Wars, World of Warcraft, and Final Fantasy are tab targeting MMOs, and they're doing fantastic. Well, World of Warcraft, not so much. But the point is those games are still tab targeting, but those games are still growing and doing all right. Final Fantasy has pretty much become one of the biggest MMOs in the world right now. So we can't blame this on the simplicity of hotkeying and tab targeting. So what is it? What is it that makes Star Wars: The Old Republic so stagnant? Well, to be honest, outside of story, the game hasn't changed. It hasn't shaken up anything. Nothing outwardly visibly has changed the game in any way in 10 years. Nothing new has come along to shake up the monotony. So how do we fix it? Well, there's another thing these games do, but pretty much every year that shakes up the gameplay. They get a new class. Now, that's not to say classes are the only way a game can spruce up its gameplay. There are a plethora of other things the game can do, but classes are how you experience the game itself. It is the core of the gameplay experience, because that is the lens you're viewing the rest of the game through. But after 10 years, Star Wars: The Old Republic hasn't had anything new. It's been the same thing for 10 years. Now, I know what you're probably going to say. They can't do it. It's nearly impossible to do it. And you know what? You're right. With the way the game is set up right now, with the way gameplay is attached to story, it's impossible for them to do it. They would need a huge team, and they don't have a huge team. They would have to develop the class, they'd have to write the story, they have to do companions for the story, design the companions, design the class, and then give it a ship, then integrate it into the worlds they already have, and to make sure it's balanced. And then they have to turn around and do the same thing again for the opposing faction. They can't do it. The only way they could do it is if they could find a way to separate the in-game class structure from the gameplay story. Oh wait, they're already doing it. Legacy of the Sith has given them exactly what they needed in combat styles. They finally have the ability to create a new class without having to go through the massive thing they normally have to do to create a new class. With combat styles, you can just choose it as a combat style. And there's absolutely no reason why they can't and shouldn't create a new class. And after all, they did say combat styles wasn't the only big thing that's coming to the game this coming year, so who knows what they're going to announce. It's my conclusion that in Star Wars: The Old Republic right now, with the simplifying of gearing, the complete separating combat styles from the class storylines that they are leaving the door open for a new class, and I guarantee, I believe this wholeheartedly, that there is another combat style in development behind closed doors at BioWare right now. What's the new class going to be? I have no idea. It's Star Wars. There's so many things they could do with a new class. I think by the middle of this year, or even by the end of the year, we'll be hearing something about a new class coming to the game, and I have a feeling it's going to be really good. Or I could just be crazy and I could be wrong. But if I'm not wrong, I'm taking a huge victory lap. Well, everyone, that's my time for this video, so be sure to hit the like button if you like this video, and hit subscribe if you want more SWTOR and other gaming content on my channel to come in the future. Retortion me, and may the Force serve you well.